Hello friends, I am Chevee, and today we are discussing the Nintendo Switch game Mario Golf Super Swing.
Yes, this entire video is out of focus, but don't worry, I'll overlay a whole bunch of gameplay footage, so hopefully I won't damage your eyes too bad.
Game's been out now for a couple of weeks, and I've been wanting to talk about it, but I held off on it. I bought this on launch day, but I held off on talking about it for the last few weeks. One, because this channel was dead for 4 years, and two, because I wanted to give it a fair shake. Prior to this game's launch, me and a whole bunch of friends on Discord got super excited about online multiplayer, and we were all prepared to buy this on launch day. And then, a couple of days or the day before launch, when review embargoes were lifted, we started to see some pretty reviews of the product, and I think a lot of people backed out of buying it because of that. I didn't. I went because I wasn't necessarily turned off by those meh reviews. And the reason is those reviews focused on a lack of content and a very underwhelming adventure mode. And while I agree that the game is light on both of those sides, I think the rest of it is just fine. It's pretty great. And I waited for 2 weeks because I wanted to see how I interacted with this game on an ongoing basis. And so far, I've played it pretty much every day for 2 weeks. So let's talk about it. First off, there's 6 courses. That's it. It feels kind of underwhelming. But there is an adventure mode, and there's other new modes of play. Specifically, speed golf, which is pretty fun. It's essentially first in the hole wins, but shots matter because every time you take a shot, it adds 30 seconds. So you kind of want to, plan your shots, but don't take too long because you're trying to get in the hole first. And there is battle golf, which is basically like the Mario Kart balloon pop, or what a battle kart, but with golf. So there's an arena. I think there's 9 holes in the arena, and the first one to win 3 holes wins. So essentially, once you've won a hole, nobody else can win it. And I forgot to mention that speed golf is Mario Kart with golf. Like, you hit the ball and then you're running. You're running to your ball. It doesn't jump you ahead like normal golf games. And those are really fun modes of play. On top of it, every golfer, and there's, like 20, every golfer has a special shot that you can power up, and that special shot can do things like turn the area where it lands to ice. It can knock other balls away. I don't honestly know what else. Those are the 2 main ones that I've seen.
Rosalia's got a cool ability. When her ball lands next to yours, it turns your ball into like a star, and it becomes really hard to hit. And I think Yoshi has one similar. It turns it into an egg.
So I went into it wanting a good golf game. I've always had a good golf game on all of my consoles. I had good golf games going back to like early Windows PCs, and I've always enjoyed the gameplay of golf. And I think that part of that comes from one of my favorite childhood games was a game called Scorched Earth, which is essentially tanks, and you're aiming shots and counting on lob and wind to carry your shots. And that's essentially what golf was back then. We played a lot of overhead style. There was some crosswind, and you kind of had to, account for that and take your shot, apply the appropriate power. And all of that is present in this title, and I think it all works really, really well. I was also looking for a good sit on the couch and play a game with my partner, and I think this fills that role. We've played a lot of this game. But to touch on the aspects that were kind of down, were looked down upon, adventure mode is pretty underwhelming. It is more like a tutorial that teaches you things you can't use in the rest of the game. And what I mean by that is it's short. I think people have said they've completed it in 4 hours. I probably spent about 5 or 6, simply because I talked to every single character. Every time they had a thought bubble, I went and, read what they had to say, even though it was very rarely important. And I spent a lot of time exploring the environment. There's absolutely no reason for that. There's nothing in this environment to find. There are no collectibles. There's 0 things that you can do outside of what the story or the guided story is. And the reason I spent so much time was because in the very first course, you come out of your place, and of course, me being me, I don't go straight to the objective, I tool around and talk to everybody and explore. And very early on, literally within the first like 10 minutes of the game, I found this guy who's like, "Hey, you're looking at that? I'll give you that." And then he goes, "But first you have to learn about this." And I was like, "Oh, there's a cool thing I found, and I'm going to go learn about it and come back." Spoiler alert, no, you don't have to remember shit. That's part of the storyline. You have to go talk to that guy to continue the storyline. I didn't find anything special. I just found it early, and it gave me false hope that there would be more stuff like that in the environment, and there wasn't. So, yeah, the environments are kind of big. Like the opening area, when you first come out of your little zone and you're going to the first golf course, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of, stuff in your way, and none of it is even remotely useful. Like there's nothing there. There's no information. There's no nothing. You just kind of have to navigate through it and go on your way to your golf course. So that's kind of underwhelming. Also, you play essentially the first, I think, 3 courses are basically training on how to take shots, how wind works. It teaches you about some of the odder aspects of some of the courses. Of only, I think, 2 of the courses of the 6 are quote normal, like grass courses. The rest have Mario themed environment hazards. So there's, wind blowing clouds, there's lava, there's, mesh walkways where balls can fall through. There's all kinds of strange things going on, creatures wandering around on the course. So the first couple of courses in adventure or in the adventure mode is teaching you how to deal with that. Then the adventure mode takes this abrupt change, and you're now like kind of doing boss mode type stuff, and you learn these cool new shots, and then it ends, and that's it. Like you literally learn these new shots. You need them for one task to continue the adventure on towards the final boss, and then you never get to use it again because everything that you learned in adventure mode you don't get to use in the rest of the game. It's completely separate. And that felt a little wrong. Like I brought my me, you play as your me when you're playing in adventure mode. I brought it out and wanted to play with it in standard golf mode, and I didn't know any of the stuff that I knew in adventure mode. I didn't have any of the clubs that I bought in adventure mode, and that felt a little wrong. But I thought the adventure mode was good. I don't have a whole lot to compare it to because I do not remember adventure mode in previous Mario Golf games, but I can say it felt a lot like the Pangea series of golf, which was Super Swing Golf on the Wii was an entry in that series. And you have a character, they have stats as you play, and you earn experience points. You can level up your distance, you can level up your speed for running, your spin on the ball, control, how much your shots drift. All of that stuff exists in the adventure mode. It's just very short, and it doesn't mean anything outside of adventure mode. So once you're done completing the final boss, that's it. You just don't get to use any of that stuff anymore, and you go back to using the standard golfers like Mario and Luigi and whoever else you choose. But all of that does not mean it's a bad product. There is supposedly a ton of content coming for this game, and a lot of people have pointed out that that's going to add value to the product, and I agree, but I also don't feel ripped off. I did get this at a $10 discount because I bought it physical edition at Walmart on launch day, and Walmart seems to do discounts for new titles. So I only paid $50 instead of the $60, and I don't feel ripped off at all because I've spent 2 solid weeks playing it with my girlfriend, and we've had a blast. Is it the, AAA title that a $60 price tag normally comes with? No, it's not. But it's really darn good, and it's an enjoyable golf experience. If you're looking for an enjoyable golf experience on the Switch, outside of Golf Story, I don't know that there is another one. Please let me know if I'm crazy. There might be a good one that I've missed. Put it in the description. I would love to hear. While you're down there, I've been looking for a good fishing game. I've always enjoyed good fishing games on all of the Nintendo consoles, and I haven't found one for this yet. I found that all of the ones I see available, people say do not buy this game. So I'm looking for a decent fishing game. If you know about it, put it in the comments. But I think Mario Golf is worth the $50. Is it worth the $60? Probably not yet. But it will be once the first, round of DLC comes out, which supposedly is going to be free. So we shall see. That's Mario Golf Super Rush. I think it's worth it. Buy it. We can play online together. That'd be fun. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what I'm doing here, please hit subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Do all the things you're supposed to do on YouTube to help a channel. I'd really appreciate it. See you next time.